What is a business situational framework and how can you apply it to your consulting case interview? You'll find out in this video. Let's get to the first question right there and then. What is a business situational framework? A business situational framework is basically a structured way to tackle a business problem and find a solution. A business situational framework helps you analyze companies' current situations to boost its performance. It looks at four main areas: customer, competitors, product, and company. This framework is based on a classic model by 𝗢𝗫𝗵𝗲𝗍, a Japanese organizational theorist who believed that a strong business strategy should focus on the customer, competitors, and the company. The business situational framework just adds the product into the mix. It's super handy when you're looking to scale a business, enter a new market, or develop a new product. So if your consulting case touches any of these, this framework can really help guide your thinking. Let's take a closer look at each factor. First up, figure out who your customers are and what they really want. Look at things like their demographics, market segments, groups of people with similar preferences, what drives their buying decisions, and any trends in their growth. You also need to understand what needs your products can address and how much customers might be willing to pay. Next, check out the competition. What's the market like for your product? How are your competitors set up? What's their market shares? What are their strengths and weaknesses? And how do you stack up against them? For the product, focus on what features it should have to meet customer needs, its unique selling points, and how it should be branded, priced, and distributed. Finally, take a look at your own company. What are its strengths and weaknesses? What capabilities do you already have, like a strong distribution network or brand loyalty, that could help you seize new opportunities? Enough of the definition. Let's move into the more important topic of this video, a case example. Let's use this problem statement from the UCLA Anderson School of Management's casebook. Sample problem: business situational framework. Our client is one of the top 3 beverage manufacturers in the US. They are thinking of launching a new flavored, non-sparkling water product. The company is a vertically integrated beverage manufacturer that makes the drinks, has 5 bottling plants, and owns their own distribution channels. They have asked us to determine whether or not they should launch the new product, how to do it, and what the marketing strategy should be. There are 3 key elements you need to answer. Should they launch the product? How should they launch the product? What should the marketing strategy be? Using the business situational framework gives us issues to consider. Case structure for business situational framework case example. In case interviews, you might not receive all the details you need right away. By asking your interviewer logical questions, you can uncover more information. For example, you can ask questions related to the competition aspect of the model. What is the size and breakdown of the flavored water market? Or how much market share do our main competitors hold? You'll certainly get more relevant information needed to proceed with this case. Let's say your interviewer gave you the information that you need. This chart right here. Looking at these charts, it's obvious that non-sparkling water makes up only a small part of the overall market. Within this category, there are 2 big players, but a lot of the market is taken up by the smaller competitor. This creates a chance for our client to grab some of that market share from the smaller players and establish themselves as a major competitor in the non-sparkling water space. Once you understand the current market situation, the next step is to estimate the potential opportunity for the client to determine if it's worth going after. Here's some more information. It's math time. The market share of non-sparkling flavored water is 10% of the total market for flavored waters, so there are 8 million US fluid gallons times 10% share for non-sparkling equals 800,000 gallons. Each drink is packaged in 16-ounce bottles, and there are 128 ounces in a gallon. 128 ounces divided by 16 ounces equals 8. Therefore, there are 8 bottles in a gallon. 800,000 gallons are sold each year. Therefore, 800,000 times 8 bottles in a gallon equals 6.4 million bottles sold each year. Each bottle costs on average about $1 a bottle. Therefore, 6.4 million bottles times $1 equals $6.4 million total revenue per year. The information that we just discussed suggests there is a potential opportunity for the client, but before we draw any conclusions, you need to consider costs and potential risks. For example, how long would it take for the client to break even if they launch a new product? Let's say each bottle of non-sparkling flavored water costs about 90 cents to produce. Startup launch costs are about $400,000. To break even, you need to sell 400,000 investments divided by 10 cents profit per bottle equals about 4 million bottles. To figure out how many years it'll take to break even, you'll need to estimate the percentage of market share the client could capture and make sure your assumption is well supported with logical reasoning. For example, since the entrant is a major company, it has strong brand name power and distribution networks. Other major competitors have 12% and 18% market share. Since our product is backed by a strong company, let's assume we can hit the midpoint, about 15% as an estimate. 15% of 6.4 million bottles equals 960,000 bottles sold each year, which is approximately 1 million bottles. 4 million bottles to break even divided by 1 million bottles equals 4 years to break even. With this information and coinciding with other risks like shifting customer preferences and how competitors might react, you should suggest that the client go ahead with the product launch. However, they should also develop a marketing plan to capture more than 15% of the market and shorten the payback period. When planning the launch, focus on key strengths from the company analysis, like the strong brand and solid distribution networks. Best practices from the competition analysis, especially those related to product launches, since competitors have more experience in this area. Using the customer questions from the business situational framework, think about customer trends and how other competitors are targeting them. Let's say you asked your interviewer about this and they gave you these details. Based on this information, here are some insights that you can draw before you make your final recommendation. The product will fall into the other category. Therefore, the company should position the product as a sports drink or leisure beverage instead of a health drink. This is because the other market share is larger in these categories, offering greater potential. And there you have it, everything you need to know on how you can apply the business situational framework during a consulting case interview. I'm curious, will you be going through a case interview soon? Leave a comment below the name of the firm that you will be interviewing for. I'll share resources on how you can pass the interview. So, for example, if you put McKinsey, I'll send you some resources for passing your interviews with McKinsey. And if you're 100% serious about becoming a consultant at McKinsey or another amazing firm, I would love to help. My team and I are former consulting recruiters and interviewers who've helped applicants get and pass the interviews so they can land their consulting offer. To date, we have a 90% success rate. That means 9 out of 10 applicants who work with us land at least one offer, and we've helped over 800 people already land a consulting job. If you are serious about becoming a management consultant and want to hear how we can help you, click on the link below to book a call with my team to find out more. Booking this call could put you one step closer to landing your offer at McKinsey, Bain, BCG, or other management consulting firms. But you don't have to take my word for it. Hear from 𝗩𝗶𝗱𝗲𝗄. 𝗩𝗶𝗱𝗲 received an offer from McKinsey despite coming from an engineering background, specifically oil and gas. I'll link to his video somewhere beside me. Okay, that's it for now. I'll see you in the next video.